We're in Louisville, Kentucky at the Utility Show, and our first filming today, I don't know what order these get released, but our first filming is going to be Super Products. We have Michael Reis. He is the VP of Sales at Super Products. Mike, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Man, talk about a location. We missed you because when we came in, the first booth was you. Big truck on display, and we walked right by. So,
great location. Our marketing person Becca did a real good job getting us this location. This is our second time at this location. Love it. Everybody, as soon as they come in, this is what they get to see.
And I hear there's we're getting swapped out for puppies at 11, I think.
That is correct. So we have a Mud Dog here, and we teamed up to Humane Society. So we have an adopt a dog event. So adopt a Mud Dog or adopt a regular dog. So we're bringing in some puppies, just kind of make awareness to it and have a little fun.
You're gonna put the whole event's gonna stop. You know that, right?
You know, if you can't have fun, why are you doing it? You know?
Exactly. Well, the other people are out in the rain, not having fun. Do you have a spot out there as well, or you just?
No, we're just indoors. I learned my lesson years ago. We've been outside before, and the weather here can be great, or it may not. And at least indoors, you know what you're getting every time.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me a little bit about Super Products, just as a company for anybody who is new.
Yeah, no, Super Products has been around for a little over 50 years now. We're manufactured out of Wisconsin, right outside of Milwaukee, a little town called Mugwanago. Been doing the vacuum trucks there since 2020 is when we put a new factory in Mugwanago. We're owned by Alamo Group. Alamo Group is a publicly traded company. It gives us a lot of flexibility on what we can do. It's a really good company to be with, and they let us have some fun, like stuff like this.
When how long have you been with them?
I've been with them 15 years now.
Wow. And so what's the, just to get a kind of understanding, are they across U.S., into Canada, global? What is the reach?
So we mainly concentrate in North America. We do have a South American presence a little bit, Mexico, the whole bit. Our truck's gone over, but honestly, the North America keeps us pretty busy, keeps our factory going real well.
Right. And it's vacuum trucks, right?
That's what we do. So here behind us, we have our hydro excavator, but we also do a combo truck, so a sewer truck. We do a straight air mover, and then we do a liquid vac truck as well.
And so that's facilities out in Wisconsin. And sorry, when did you say that got?
So we got a brand new factory built for us in 2020. So we've been opened up the new factory since then in Mugwanago.
So what is this truck we're looking at right here?
So this is a hydro excavator. It's used primarily for utility locates. So before you go to dig a trench with an excavator, or if you're going to do a horizontal drilling, you actually want to know exactly where the utility is. So you use this truck with using vacuum or water or air to expose where it is, so you know exactly where it is, so you don't have to worry about damaging it when you're digging around it. By using the water or the air, it's called non-destructive digging. You'll be able to see the utility exactly where it is, mark it, then you can just move on from there. So if you know you have a water line, a gas line, electric line, fiber optic line, you can kind of know around where it is, but you don't know exactly where it is. So this is a safe way to get there.
So yeah, because I was seeing a video and it looked, I mean, the hole looked like it ended up being about that big, and someone just kind of kept going down. They're actually like sucking out the dirt, right?
So, and the hole, some different ones, right? Depending on the size of the utility, what you're trying to do. Like if you're doing a horizontal drill, literally the hole may only be 6 to 8 inches.
Okay.
It's just enough to say, okay, yep, that water line is. And the reason you want to do that, there's a water line there, but you may not know the exact depth of that line. So if you're going to be doing something across there, you want to know exactly where it is so you don't hit it, or sewer, anything like that.
Does the design of this truck is like 10 years ago? How much different? I'm looking at there's so many parts and pieces on this.
No, they definitely come a long ways. I mean, what we can do with them. So these trucks are meant to work in any climate. So hot weather, cold weather, freezing, doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, we used to be digging just with water. Now we're digging with air or water. So that helps us control our spoil. So if it's going to be a dry material, wet material, so it helps us for our dumping as well. The booms and the way they're operating now, trying to keep them a little more safer for the operators. The operating, and for us, the way we dump, we use a injector plate style, so we can actually control our dump now. So instead of just dumping like a regular dump truck, where then you're waiting for the material to let loose, and once it does, it goes all the way out.
Right.
For us, we actually can control it. We only go up 2 foot. We have an ejector that pushes it out for
I
us.
saw that video. It's like it's actually like a plate, like
Yeah, it's a
pushing
big
it out
plate,
the back.
pushes it out nice. For some reason, you need to stop. You can actually stop our dump.
Right.
So if something's in harm's way, you're overfilling a pit or whatever the reason, you can do it. And the best part about that is you can operate it and be way out of harm's way. So, that's what it's all about, safety. That's what a hydro excavator is all about, safe digging practices. So not only can we dig it safe, we can operate it safe, we can dump it safe.
Let's talk about our heavy industry tour brought to you by Orica Digital Solutions. ORPRO 3D is purpose-built for rapid grade control optimization. Quickly simulate blast designs, generate mining polygons, and classify material with confidence. And Corporate Traveler Canada, helping companies travel the globe simpler, faster, easier. We're heading to events across North America and Australia and filming episodes on location. Email us at info@crownsman.com to be part of Crownsman's Heavy Industry Tour. Every year, construction companies lose millions to theft, vandalism, and project delays. Heavy equipment, tools, and materials are prime targets. And with most sites lacking Wi-Fi or electricity, traditional surveillance just doesn't work, leaving projects vulnerable, costs rising, and deadlines at risk. Vosker changes that. Their solar-powered 4G LTE cameras are built for remote job sites, rugged, autonomous, and ready to protect high-value assets from day one. Through the Vosker app, managers get real-time AI alerts and more than just security. Project monitoring, track construction progress, deliveries, and on-site activity. Safety and compliance, ensure safety protocols and processes are consistently followed. The benefits are clear. Low cost, trailers or guards can run thousands per month. And rapid deployment. No networking required. Just mount, connect, and monitor. Construction is demanding. Security shouldn't be another risk. Vosker keeps site protected anytime, anywhere. Visit vosker.com to learn more. Pumping systems. They're the heartbeat of manufacturing, but they can be real headaches, can't they? Vibration, pulsation, back pressure, it's a wonder anything gets done efficiently or safely. That's where Blaco comes in. Their pulsation dampeners, back pressure valves, and other solutions are designed to tame the chaos, improve efficiency, and add reliability and safety to your pumping system. Imagine less downtime, lower maintenance costs, and a whole lot less stress. That's the Blaco difference. Blaco Industries, smooth flow, smooth operation, made in the USA. Visit Blaco.com to learn more.
I always think it's helpful to talk about the opposite before you talk about the thing that you're delivering. So when you say safety, what was unsafe before? Where were the risks?
Well, I mean, if you're digging with even a shovel, backhoe, anything, and a utility's kind of around there, but if you strike it, if it's a gas line, obviously you don't want that. You don't want to be that guy on the 5 o'clock news that hit the water line. You see the main going up, squirting the water because you kind of knew there was a water line, but you thought it was 2 foot more over, and then you hit it. Electrics, you see the augers with the fiber optic line all cut there, electric communications, you can cause millions of dollars worth of damage.
Yeah. So where I live, actually, a 36-inch main city pipe burst.
Yeah.
And so it was an actual river going down.
Oh, yeah.
Those poor people are still, they're going to be out of their place for a year. Nobody can sell those units. That whole thing is just locked down.
Yeah. So,
just a mess.
Yeah, and everybody wants to, be safe in the way they're doing things. So
what are some, I see a lot of people, we've got some people coming behind us right now. That's part of being at the show. Yeah. You don't want an empty booth. What are some common questions you're getting here? Maybe specifically about this unit, but some of the other units.
Depends on. We get a lot of what is this? Guys still. Hydro excavation's been around for a while, but there's still a lot of guys it's new to. It's definitely gotten a lot more traction, but a lot of times I'll get somebody. What is this? What do you use it for?
Okay, so that is it. Because honestly, when I first saw it, I was like, what? I didn't understand what you were trying to do with it, and then I realized, this is actually digging. Like you're actually taking the dirt out.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we get a lot. That's usually a lot. We get a lot of those questions, and then after that, it's usually, if you do know what it is, it's about size and capacities. Like I said, we have multiple sizes. Our 700, we have a 1200, 1600. So 700 stands for 7 yards of debris.
Okay.
1200, 12 yards of debris. 1600, 16 yards of debris. Right. So that's the next question. What's your capacities? You can do with that. How much water? They want to know how much CFM, how much blower. So this truck, 6,000 CFM blowers. Power, if it grabs your arm, it's not going to let go.
No.
So extremely strong machine. So as safe as they are a machine, and you need to be careful around them.
Right. And So those different sizes, what would be like the different applications then?
Yeah, so like this one here, we kind of call more of our urban truck. So if you got a smaller, just little utility locates and you're in the middle of the city, you don't need a big old tri-drive truck that you're trying to drive in the middle of Manhattan or Chicago, right? So these trucks can get around a little easier that way, and they're smaller jobs. You get 1,200, and if you guys need a little more production out of it, maybe if you're doing we call slot trenching, where you actually need to get more than just finding a little utility, but you're actually doing some stuff. And then bigger pipeline jobs, bigger oil field work, you got our 1,600 as the guys that are literally all they're doing is digging. They usually don't even bring in backhoes, whatever. They just
really?
need, yeah. So around certain pumps, refineries nowadays, even electrical grids, they don't want mechanical digging anymore, just because of the damage it could cause, and you're not there.
So they're actually specing. They're actually saying
they're requiring you to come in with that vacuum and only use vacuum excavation now.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. So I guess I'm going to ask some real layman questions.
No worries.
So I guess then if you're going in, though, it has to be an area. You're not talking new construction where there's a bunch of rock and that sort of thing. You're talking area that has been disturbed before. Is that kind of a fair way to say it?
Well, you look at our cities, right? Especially you go out east, right? New York, Boston, anywhere, D.C. I mean, we're talking things have been put in the ground for 200 years. And we didn't always map it out. There used to be water lines and gas lines and, cable, all sorts of stuff there. So when you go through some intersections, whatever, if you don't really know what's there, if you put a shovel in there, or you're digging with a backhoe or an excavator, you don't know what you're going to hit. At least here, if you hit it, you're not done any damage. You can totally expose it and you can move on.
Right.
I've been on job sites where we found stuff that they didn't expect. We found fiber optic lines. I've actually seen wooden water lines that are still being used today that they didn't know there.
Wooden water lines?
Wooden water lines in North Connecticut.
Really?
Yeah. So I was like, what is that? It looked like a tree root. And the guy's like, no, that's a water line. And he goes, they did something. So I forget how he did it, but he tested. He goes, yeah, it's still working. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So, yeah.
I wonder what kind of wood they were using back then.
I don't know, but it's still working today.
That's all. I mean, that's kind of impressive.
So, yeah. Well, I was outside of Boston, and they had sewers, but they're all made of brick. And when you look at the work it done back then, think about it. Some guys just laying brick and building sewers out of it. It's amazing.
It is amazing, some of this old stuff. You're like, yeah, I can see why they had to change it. But
but like I said, at the same time, if you had even gotten close to that with a metal excavator or whatever, just not even hitting it, but just the pressure of the dirt,
just destroy it.
Could destroy it. So,
right. Yeah. I didn't realize. So these are like requirements now. Like you're saying, you're talking about like oil fields and stuff like that.
No. There's different. The refineries and stuff there, that's part of the requirements and different powers. That's why it's such a growing area. I mean, we're seeing more and more of the requirements, more and more of the states making it a requirement. 2 foot no, they call 2 foot no dig rules. So you can't dig within known utility within 2 feet with meaning mechanical or whatever.
Right.
So you have to go in, fully expose these, use these trucks for that. Then they can come in and finish up the project.
For over 50 years, Pedrolo has established itself as a global leader in water, energy, and technology solutions for various market sectors, including residential, commercial, industrial, agricultural, and even swimming pools. Pedrolo offers a wide range of pumps, including surface pumps, pressure boosting pumps, submersible pumps, and more, catering to both clean and dirty water applications. The company's automated designs feature world-class engineering, innovative mechanics, and advanced automation, all aimed at enhancing performance, all the while empowering trade professionals to optimize their efficiency and reduce costs. Pedrolo is at the forefront of pioneering water solutions for a dynamic world. Visit pedrolousa.com to learn more. As heavy machinery specialists for construction, SMS Equipment knows performance, like the performance they achieve together in a partnership dedicated to the success of their construction customers. At SMS Equipment, they're more than machines from trusted brands. They're the people beside you today and every day, bringing industry-leading technology and expertise to your job site. Because the right partnership makes everything possible. SMS Equipment, partners in your possibilities. Discover what's possible at smsequipment.com. Are you facing the challenges of CO2 shortages in your construction projects? Secure your CO2 supply today with Tomco Systems, the pioneers in CO2 equipment solutions. With over 45 years of experience, Tomco transforms challenges into solutions, offering a comprehensive range of CO2 products for water treatment, storage, and transportation. Tomco Systems' patented CO2-based water treatment and wastewater treatment solutions have gained global recognition for their efficient and precise pH control systems. Whether you need pH reduction for municipal process treatment or industrial wastewater, their line of carbonic acid storage and feed products will provide you with 95% or greater efficiency in reaching your target pH. Don't let shortages slow you down. Visit tomcosystems.com to learn more.
Before you were in this role, you mentioned you'd actually been out in the field. Have you worked with these machines doing this?
I've not been an official operator, but yeah, I definitely, we go out field. We do a lot of demos. We're out on the job. That's actually where I have the most fun.
Yeah,
Get me out there in the field, go watch the guys. Every now and then, I'm like, hey, give me the wand, let me play. So it's great to do for 30 minutes.
I do that with the cameras, and I get in a lot of trouble for it nowadays.
Same thing. They're like, hey, now can we go back to work, sir? I'm like, I'm just.
Well, I don't know if you ever watched The Office. Have you ever watched that show where he always wants to? Michael always wants. Oh, Mike, there we. Always wants to operate the forklift and the garbage crusher.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. Yeah. I want to just let me play with it a little bit.
Just a few minutes. I wanted to talk about these in the sense of just like I'm looking underneath at the frame. You've got all this machinery on it.
Right.
What even design for like spreading out the weight, all that sort of stuff, that must go really into consideration when building something like this.
We got definitely our engineering department gets to geek out on this stuff. So when we get this truck, it's literally, we call it cab to axle. So back of this cab, it's all black rail when it comes to us. So we add everything else onto this truck at that point. So they just come there, and you're right, evening out the weight, not just for your axles, but how much you're getting to the front. Gross vehicle weight is always important, not to overload these deals, making sure they're balanced, right? I don't need a bunch of weight on the right, not making it lean. So there's actually quite a bit thought of the way that goes and operates.
Does the design change as the units go up, or does everything just get bigger?
No, depends on where you're. Like this actual particular truck, because of what we built for the union, it actually sits a little taller in the back. So our dump actually is a little taller on this one.
Oh, okay.
The way it is, because we do box dumping in there. Our other trucks, they're a little bigger. They're actually a little lower, but the weight's spread out further. So, the way it is. So there's definitely design differences. The main way they're driven, they're the same though. They're going to be transfer case driven, PTO power on the hydraulics, transfer and blower. So off that, but obviously the bigger the truck, a little bit more power, the whole bit that way.
So do they, now the front, like this engine that's in this truck, does that sort of thing start to change then as the bigger units go?
Oh, yeah,
up?
absolutely.
Oh, okay.
So more horsepower, right? If you got a bigger blower or whatever versus a smaller blower, like this one's got the smaller blower in there, you don't need as much horsepower to drive this whole system. But then obviously a bigger blower, you need a little bit more horsepower. And then obviously you want a little more sturdy, more stout chassis for the more payload you have. So the heavier, you're going to want more on the back.
And then it gets longer. It can only go so wide, right?
Right.
So then the design starts to get
and that's the only way you can go. Yeah. I mean, obviously you got your DOT requirements that you have to still fit in within.
How, in terms of operator, what is the requirements for this in terms of like ease of operation and even disqualification to do it?
Well, I mean, CDL, right? These are all CDL trucks, or at least ours are. So they're all CDL is what an operator does. After that, we'll come out, we'll train operators. They look complicated, but they're not actually that hard to do. Once you engage your PTO and you get going, you got a little remote, move your boom around, turn on your water, and hit the vac. So it isn't as complicated as it looks. It's actually fairly easy.
Actually, that's what I was going to ask you as well. Is the air and the water? So you're not using both. You're using one or the other. And is every machine rigged out for both?
So it's an option. The air is. Every machine is rigged out with the water. The air is an option that we do.
Okay, so that water coming out is hitting it essentially with pressure.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. So ours particularly goes up to 3,000 PSI. Some of the competitors out there, they'll go up to 4. Wouldn't go any higher than that because, once again, we're trying to do safe digging, right? You put too much pressure in there, you could actually start damaging stuff.
Well, I was going to wonder about the air too, though. I mean, in terms of like if you're putting air pressure in that stuff, or even water, there's stuff like, how do you sort of control
Well, that's what the vac's for, right? So you got the vac, you put your tube there. You really want to try to dig right underneath the vacuum. So you're doing there, and it kind of controls it. When you first start off, we have what we call variable speed. So we can actually start off at a slower speed of the water pressure. So you kind of start off, dig your hole, get it going. Once it starts getting deeper, you don't have that splash like you're just talking about. If you started off full gun blast, then you're right. You would just blast it everywhere.
But so that's a skill set behind doing
you just kind of get to know your equipment, start your hole off, get it going. Once you get going, then you really can start doing some production.
This is probably an obvious question to you, but who Who is actually buying it? So I'm sure you have a couple different client bases,
I
right?
mean, you have some. So there actually are now hydro excavation companies.
That's what they do.
That's all they do.
Huh.
So, but pretty much most of the power companies now, any major power company, they seem to have them now in their budgets. Any utility company, anybody doing any type of utility. So for the
they're
power
owning
companies
them or renting them?
both. So
They're doing both?
some of them rent them, some of them hire the services, some own them themselves. Usually what we get a lot is customers that been subbing this work out a lot, hiring these guys. They see their bills, how much they're really paying these days, and as they're getting more and more required,
Right.
then they eventually graduate, and it's like buying your first backhoe or anything else. You say, okay, I've been subbing out long enough, time for me to own one of my own.
Yeah. What are some strange industries? Have you ever had anybody that like used it for it and you thought, oh, that's a strange use for it?
Oh yeah, no, I mean it's yeah, I mean we definitely have guys doing different stuff. I've got guys working these on farms, cleaning out pits. So we've got them in the sewer areas where they're cleaning out the vaults as well. Tank cleaning. So guys, because you got water in here and you have a vac, so if you need to clean a tank, so they go in there.
Because you don't that just the vac that you
so you can actually literally use the water, wash it down, then you got the vac, you can contain it, boom. So they pull it out of there. So yeah, there are a lot of applications that they're using these for.
Okay, I know this unit is perfect for utility, but you do have other lines of equipment, so I'd love to spend a few minutes on those. Can you walk us through a couple?
Yeah, so we have a combo truck. It's called a Camel for us. So those trucks are used for cleaning sewers, storm drains, areas like that. Obviously, keeping our infrastructure flowing that way. That we have pretty similar setup. Really, that's the boom. Different there is the water. There is a 80-gallon per minute pump, where this is an 18-gallon per minute. So you need a lot of flow to be able to flush out lines.
Okay.
But the same thing, though, we have the vac. So once it comes back, we can pick up any material, clean out those. Anytime you see a big storm, right, and you always see the streets flooded, a lot of times what happens is our storm drains, they get plugged up. Trees, branches, just dirt or sand and material itself. So that's why you need to come back with our trucks. Make sure you clean those out to let that water have somewhere to drain again. So very important there. And most people have seen them. They don't realize it. That's that thing you always see, the snout over in the sewer.
Right, yeah.
And so
that's what they're doing.
Yep. So that's what we're doing.
So they're putting I've always just thought they were just taking out. So they're actually putting pressure in too.
You're putting pressure water in there. They run a nozzle all the way down. So they'll shoot it down, and then they actually use that pressure, and they actually bring the nozzle back, and it's bringing that material back when it comes back. And so then it comes in there. So any, like I said, material, mud, dirt, whatever, comes back, cleans out, vacuums it out. Then they'll run a camera down there, make sure everything's clean, make sure there's no damage to it. And actually real important in our infrastructure.
Does the unit like that have even higher pressure than this would, because it's got a punch?
So what it does is the PSI is only around 2,000, but the gallons per minute, like I said, we go 80 gallons per minute. So for there, it's really about the flow, getting that material to flow, and pushing it back. So there.
Yeah. And what's another unit? On that Camel, is there a same thing? Is there like multiple sizes of that?
Yeah, so we have a 900, so 9-yard machine, and then we have a 1,200 as well. So 12-yard machine on there.
Would a 1,200, would that work in a city area, or is that more for outside?
No, it's definitely 1,200 is probably the most common in the industry, that size machine. For the cities, the smaller one is like for maybe a smaller township, or not as big, where they don't have as much pipe, but usually 1,200 is about the right machine there.
So if you have like a storm, if you have like a serious storm, then are they deploying? They must deploy 100 of these trucks.
Oh yeah, no, we'll get the calls after a big hurricane or something comes through, and we always, hey, how many do you have? How many can you get to me? Can you get them? We also rent these trucks ourselves, so we have our own rental division.
Oh, you are.
So we have our own rental. So we'll always get those calls. How many do you have? We got this job. We gotta get things flowing again, right? We gotta get the pipes clean. We gotta go. So
like on a major disaster, how many trucks would they in one of these major cities?
I've had literally calls up to like, hey, I need 30 of these trucks as soon as possible, and then sometimes you only need a couple. All depends on where it is and who's going.
But if they're saying they need 30 trucks, then there's other people that are out there.
So there's other guys that have them already, right?
Wow.
A lot of guys, cities already have a lot of these trucks, so they'll dispatch theirs, and then they'll need some more.
It's kind of unreal to think it's like. People think of food on the shelf. You don't realize that a city actually only has a few days worth of food. You think, all these all this infrastructure that's there, and how just if it's not taken care of, how quickly it can go so badly.
It's funny, when I sell these trucks, and you always got your friends or whatever, and people ask you what you do, and you tell them, and then And you explained, I usually always have to show them a picture of what my truck is. Then I'll get the text, hey, saw one of your trucks. Yeah, I see it. So once you see it, you recognize, you see it everywhere. You don't realize how many there are until you actually know what you're looking for. And then all of a sudden you realize, oh, these trucks are everywhere.
Oh, it's funny. I'm like a tortured soul from doing this show because I drive around and, I'll maybe do, just personally, I might do 120 interviews in a year. So I'm seeing everything.
Oh, yeah. So once you see it, then you don't forget it, right?
And people actually explain it to me so I know what I'm looking at. So I'm driving around like this all the time now. But it's worse things to be distracted by. What's another unit that we can talk about?
So another one is called is Super Sucker. And really, I always call it's a big wet dry vac on wheels. And so really that's it. It can dry liquid. It can dry powder, dirt, sand, fly ash, cement, whatever you need to vacuum up for a spill or just for maintenance. Coal power plants, we put a lot in there, steel mills, the whole bit. So that's what they use that for. And all that really is, it's just a blower and a containing area. So an area to suck it up, and then you just go dump.
Yeah, that's and that must be a huge customer base. That's just across the board.
Yeah, I mean, because it covers anywhere from industrial, environmental, you name it. It covers quite a bit.
What do you think for a company like Super Products? What do you think? I mean, how many companies have tried to do something and not lasted? You've been around. How long has this company been around?
I think we're 52 years now.
52 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so 52 years. What do you see? You've been with them. Sorry, I forgot how long you said.
15 years.
15 years.
Yep.
Where do you see the success coming from? What do you think makes this company just competitive and keep their demand going? I mean, obviously the product itself is in demand, but
I believe our big success is we call VOC, voice of the customer. So when we go design a truck like this or any of our trucks, we're always talking to our customers, always trying to keep up with what's new in the industry itself, technology, anything happening there. I don't even remember how many patents we own personally. But we're always trying to stay innovative in the industry and keep it up, because that's what's important there. If I just build the same truck and think it's going to last forever and nothing's going to change, you're missing the mark.
Yeah. Does it? And are those changes, a lot of times, are they small changes, or are there a lot of big, like on a truck like this? Is there?
Honestly, it's more the small stuff.
Just
it's the little
tweaks.
tweakings just here and there, seeing guys in the field, just going out, watching guys operate our trucks after you sell them, and you'll see they added it sounds stupid, but one of the simplest little things, I had a customer add a little spigot to our water line. I'm like, and it's just a free flow spigot. I'm like, you got a pressure going in. Yeah, but he goes, I just want to wash my gloves and I don't want the pressure. Right. I want to do.
Yeah.
I was like, that's brilliant. Like, I go back to the factory and I took a couple pictures, said, we need to add a spigot. Just those little things. But those are the little things that make it convenient for the operator, easier for their jobs. They can get their stuff done quicker. They're not damaging stuff, whatever the reason, right? And that's where we're
doing
learn.
workarounds. That's when
exactly.
you talk about safety, obviously, of the utility, but the safety of the people, too.
Yeah.
Once you start, this doesn't quite work the way I want it. So then people are innovative. They'll find a way.
And that's what we do. I'll see, and maybe one guy works for it, but the rest it doesn't. Then it doesn't make sense. But we'll see it. My sales team, they're the same way. They know. They'll send me pictures. Look what this guy did. And if we think of something there, we'll start asking our other customers around the country, right? Trying to, that 80-20 model, right? Trying to figure out what the majority. But if we hear people saying that would be a great idea, or I've seen that, but I use it, then we're like, okay, cool. We need to do something.
Do you get that at the show? Do you have people coming up today being like, hey, you should do this?
Oh, well, we get people to tell us what we need, or, we got my competition come over going, hey, what's that? Go away, walk away. Yeah, no. So it goes both ways, right? It's guys always tell us the different things they've done, and so we learned that way. But at the same time, trying to, let them learn it as well from us. So
I have to say, it is fun watching, because I know who some of the competitors are, and I kind of watch people kind of scoping and moving around, and it's kind of part of the fun of the show, though, and drives the industry forward, makes it better for everyone at the end of the day.
Yeah. So absolutely. So
yeah. Again, that's the fun of the show.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's for, right? You want to be able to crawl on these trucks and be able to get through
we've
them.
had people try to block people off, and that it's fun. People are looking; they're interested. That's what makes it.
I always tell people. I actually, when half our competition comes in, I'm like, "You got any questions?" I mean, they're going to figure it out. So, and you're here to show. That's why I'm here. I'm just here to show my truck. So,
well, and the thing is, it's like in our business, like making content. If there's the industry standards high, then there's just more trust.
Right.
So if they're talking to you, they're more likely to trust you. If you're one of four and the other three are terrible, it's like, what industry standard are we going by? It's not a good thing.
No, I agree with you there. So
how did you get into the business?
You know, it's a good question. I have no idea. Been selling construction equipment pretty much my whole life.
Oh, really?
I've worked for John Deere dealerships, Case dealerships. I actually owned my own company for 8 years, building water trucks, fuel loop trucks. Sold out to a partner, and then they came knocking. Super Products came knocking and said, "Hey, we're looking for somebody. You'd be interested." And I've just loved the ride. It's been fun.
Wow.
So when I first started with Super Products, we're building out of one factory out of Wisconsin. We moved into multiple factories while we were there. We got sold to Alamo. Alamo built us a big factory. It's been a great ride. It's been a lot of fun.
I was just out in Wisconsin filming. We were filming at the Graymont plant on Lake Superior there.
Okay.
Yeah. Man, I love that place. No, it felt. There's a few places I've been like that have that feel, and it was just like, I felt like I was home.
Yeah, no, Wisconsin's a great. I actually live in Arizona, but Wisconsin, and I go to the factory at least once a month.
Arizona's too hot for me.
So,
I'm a mountain guy.
You say that, but we're our weather's perfect right now. I got 8 months of the best weather in the country. But yeah, during the summer.
I know I'm the outlier. I know. It is so hot.
But that's why I have a factory in Milwaukee I get to go to. It's hot in the summer. I'm traveling. Let's go.
Yeah. I talk like this, and then about 2 months from now, when I'm in a foot of snow, I'm like, I shouldn't have said that about Arizona, because that's where I want to be.
Oh yeah, no, we call them snowbirds. Those guys that come back, come to the beautiful weather.
Yeah,
so
just go on the ski hill and then go back to Arizona. Yeah, no, we filmed out there too. It's just a lot of fun. That's the fun of this job, going and doing filming all these different locations. For working, having your own business, it's sort of a similar kind of
bodybuilder. Yep.
Yeah. It must give you a different perspective when you're working for them now. I mean,
absolutely. When
you kind of appreciate.
Anytime you own a company for yourself and you're the guy that's writing the checks, and you understand it's easy to spend money, when it's not your money. But when you've been there, done that, and you've got employees, it makes you appreciate a lot more. And then it kind of makes you look at the things differently. So, yeah.
And I guess also too, when you're selling, you know what they're going through too. When you see that, that distressed look on the operator's face, he's going, "Okay, I need 3 trucks." What he's going through. He's got a contract. He's got to get paid and pay his guys.
He's got bills. He's got customers. He's got his employees that he's got to keep busy. I understand that better than most people. How important it is there. So
let's go with 2 lessons. Working this company, where's something 15 years. I mean, I'm sure you haven't done the exact same for 15 years. Where's something you went, okay, I could shift this and make either myself better or make the company better? And the same question for running your business, because 8 years is a...
Yeah, well, I wish I did this first before I owned my own company.
Right. Yeah.
I've learned a lot through what we've done here. I've worked with some really good people, some really good mentors along the way. Mm-hmm. So that's been a key for me. But just having that flexibility to be able to go out and make changes on this equipment and have the resources behind it. That's huge. When I had my own company, and like I said, having to pay the bills, and you want to do some certain things, but
someone's like, put a valve here. You're like, we're not doing that.
Well, yeah. I mean, what's that? The first thing you think to yourself, what's that going to cost?
Right.
And do I need to get an engineer to do this, or can I do it myself? And how much am I changing? Versus when you have all that on staff and you have that flexibility, it makes a big difference.
Yeah, and you change one thing, and it leads to usually about 5 different changes.
I'm always kidding with the engineers. We're always fighting back and forth. I'm like, just do this. And they're like, it isn't just doing that. You've got to rerun the electric. You got to add a fuse. You got to do this. And I'm like, no, just add that. It's simple.
Yeah. How do they approach that though, from an R&D perspective?
So, I mean, for us, there's a whole procedure, right? So if I see something that we need, we actually, we submit a request. They take a look at it. They always come back. Why?
Yeah.
And then you have to justify it. And then you put a business case together. What is it going to gain us? Is it going to, get us any more sales? Is it a safety aspect? What is? Right. So you're always having those discussions.
What about, how long are these units in the field? How long is their service time?
Oh, so yeah, these trucks here, I've got trucks that have been over 20 years old.
Right.
They're still operating today.
Do they ever get upgraded?
Yeah, so we call that refurb program. So guys will come in, refresh. There's only so much you can do to bring it up to, I guess, the new standards.
Right.
But you can definitely make sure you've got the integrity in the main truck running itself.
I was actually also going to wondering about things like fuel efficiency. Obviously, you're still there's environmental impact, things like that. Where does this land in that side of the innovation?
So what's nice about our trucks, we call it variable speeds. So I can actually run the blower separate than the water. And what that gives me is if I need to just get a lot of material moving, but I don't have to worry about vacuum up as much, I can run the blower to lower RPM, which
Right.
helps me regulate my fuel, and how much I'm going through fuel, and I can still get good pressure coming out of the system. Or if I'm just needing to just right now just open up a trench, I don't need to vacuum it up right away. I don't even have to have the blower on at all. So
Right.
I can still operate it, and vice versa. If I just got a pile of dirt and it's coming out real loose, I really don't need to use the water that much or the dirt. So I just can go with the vacuum, bring up the vacuum, and run it that way.
So is that like in that example? Has that been around for 10 years, 15 years?
Yeah, no, I mean, the option to be able to run it separately has been around for 20, 30 years at
Yeah.
least. But yeah, set it up the proper way. Not everybody does it that way.
Yeah.
Some guys have it where it's just one switch and everything's on and it's all off the RPM. There's some guys that don't use the truck. They actually have their own pony engine, so they put a whole separate engine in there and they're running it separate. Different people have different theories on that.
Right. Oh, so this is actually, I didn't realize that. So this is getting all run off the truck.
So yes,
itself.
everything we run comes off the truck.
Wow.
So we have a transfer case so the drive line goes to the transfer case, comes back, runs the blower. So that blower is being ran off the RPMs. Then we have PTO running the transmission off the transmission. That's running all our hydraulics.
Yep. Well, I know you got to get back to it. I'm sure the puppies are going to come in here in about 20 minutes.
I got something to look forward to here.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mike.
Thank
for doing
you,
this.
man.
I
Appreciate the
it.
time.
Yeah. And thank you, everybody, for watching. Make sure to check out Super Products. We'll have their website, their LinkedIn. I saw you have a LinkedIn. I was
Yes,
looking
sir.
at this morning, so we'll link that if you want to just link directly with Mike. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you to all the supporters, and we'll see you on the next episode of The Construction Show.